Chapter 11. Disappear into the spirit world. If you believe in dragons, then you should know something about the elemental forces within them. We could inquire about the power of fire. All fires are the same, yet somehow all fires burn different. But if you take a spark, with an ember no bigger than a candle, a single flame of light could multiply and change the world forever. Shruti lit a fire in me. From that fire, my heart began to burn away old fear. Fire brings forth the death of the old self. Just when you think you've gotten to where you want to be, fire begins to burn away the layers of that which was hidden behind your outward reality. As we dug deeper into the cavern, little fears would arise only to be scorched alive. And was this the dragon's great fire? At times I felt so empty, I was ready to quit. But off in the distance, I heard a whisper from Shruti when she said,
"Disappear into it."
Deeper and deeper, our awareness tunneled into one central direction, all while repeating the mantra, "Arise, awake, stop not until the goal is reached." On our way deeper into the place within the fire, our intuition whispered,
"Beneath the mind is conscious awareness. Let it lead us to our peace. Uncover our hidden secret within, and it will provide relief. Look beneath what is concealed. The power of our mystery is that source within, and that is how all things heal."
On the journey through this dark cavern, it was difficult to know what had happened. The inner fire provided light, but still this path existed beyond what the mind could fathom. Oh, the mind would comment on this and that, but no matter what the mind said, it didn't change the nature of this supreme consciousness.
Consciousness can be embodied or disembodied as it lives within us, but it also lives outside of our body. Only fire can lead us through such darkness, for it burns away all that covers the great mystery. Today, we are unearthing our great power. And so what is it that is hidden within us? Can you see that we are not separate from the primeval spirit? But maybe through our intuition and imagination, we can find how we are one with it,
said Shruti. Underneath this mind was a formless shared awareness that would arise through each of us, spread through our minds, which shaped our thoughts. This awareness was the place where words were not yet in the form of sentences or ideas, but this awareness allows our minds to form comments, questions, or statements. While the mind is busy thinking, under it, I sensed a spiritual treasure. Awareness existed under our thinking minds, but somewhere even deeper, there appeared to be that great spiritual center that had existed forever.
"Behold, we are near to the great teacher,"
said Shruti. From body to body, from life to life, this conscious fire knew the way back to our true nature. At the heart of our existence was everything connected back into the divine, and of course God would hide within every being as the most prized treasure.
"Bow to the soul of our ancestors. They watch from within us and outside of our body. On earth we are covered in skin, but here we can feel their subtle presence when we slow down and open. Give thanks as the spirit goes beyond humanity, and that is why we are called to meet the celestial Nagas. These celestial ancestors are present within and outside of us, always here within and under the land. They are a force that dwells in the realm of spirit, and once we unite with them, we bring forth the wheel of awakening,"
said Shruti. But who was I, and where had Shruti gone? All that was left was the fire among the darkness, and beneath the physical reality, there were concerns the mind could not comprehend. At once there appeared a source of dry fuel, which erupted in an inner implosion. Our true self began to emerge, as though we were rising while tumbling, but still there was no ground to fall upon. Our awareness cut through this confusion when our sight opened in front of the presence of formless divine serpents. Some could have been existing in living bodies, while others lived only in the spirit. And there among the center of this consciousness was that great celestial Naga who slithered beside me and whispered,
"Disappear into it."
"Disappear into what?"
"Into the nature of our supreme conscious spirit,"
said the Naga. "What do you mean disappear?"
"Spirit is curious to live in a body, but the body is not who you are, nor is it your permanent home. The body is like a vehicle through which the spirit can learn, evolve, and grow, yet the true home lives within our awareness. This is the light of the transcendental consciousness, which is the spirit we are from. This is the source of intuition and the active imagination. It is the creator, the sustainer, and even the great destruction. Since you have severed your own demon head, since you have cut ties with the chains of your own imprisonment, we invite you deeper into our spirit world. Come rest in our nature of the Naga spirit,"
said the Naga. My awareness rotated in a circle when I found that many spiritual beings had gathered here. Some were serpents, some were winged, others were shapeshifters, and I couldn't tell if anyone else was human. It was hard to know if they were peaceful or wrathful, because why else would they remain hidden under the form of reality? Why it seemed that this inner chamber was filled with all expressions of divinity. "Who are you?" It was silent before that which is heard filled the cavern of celestial serpents, and so arose the vibratory hum of Shruti.
We are among the Dharma protectors of immortality,
said Shruti. Then you who are the Naga, I am curious why you don't live on the surface of Earth with what humans call reality.
"We are aware of everything, but the surface of Earth is only our outermost single layer of what we know as totality. Humans live on the Earth because they are most inclined for surface-level things. It's not every day we meet a human so courageous to descend so deep. It's rare to see a person rise when so many conform. But to spark something this bright, you ignite the wheel of awakening. Well, we all must know. Why did you do it?"
asked the large Naga who wore the crown. I didn't do it. They waited in stillness.
"Oh, really? Then how can you explain the great fire that burns and transforms the world's wickedness?"
asked the Naga. I'm just a witness. She did it. I swear I'm not guilty of any of this.
Has he forgotten we are all one together? Why doesn't he realize who did it?
the Naga whispered to Shruti. Amnesia, and sometimes he thinks we are separate,
said Shruti. But how could I do any of this when this whole experience is too magnificent?
You claim to be a witness. Then how do you see it?
Asked the Naga. There was a giant dragon who arose out of a great body of water, and it was her who ignited that fire, and it was her that ignited the fire. I sat in contemplation when I saw the fire, and that fire was cast into the world by the forces of nature. Shruti assumed the form of a dragon as she came out of the water. She can transform into many forms, and I swear I witnessed her breathe fire.
You blame nature, yet you are part of nature, so you are to blame as well. Are you like the rest of the humans who take credit for all the good things that happen, but refuse to take responsibility for the tragedies that fall upon all creatures and man? And why is it that part of your soul refuses to conform? Surely you're aware of who it is that controls nature, said Naga.
It is we who live in union with the spirit of all ancestors,
said Shruti. Oh, how my mind has a tendency to forget.
Then why do you blame the elemental forces when you are not separate from any of this?
He asked. Well, it's all quite complex.
It seems you got the entire Earth's attention by spreading such a spark, and now both the Earth herself and the Deceiver are aware of the power within your heart center. We too are well aware of what's going on upon the surface of Earth, and that is why we've called your soul to join us as a unique messenger. Not often do young souls care to connect with the spirit world, but now that you're one of us, we welcome you into the deeper nature of our awareness,
said the Naga. I must be dreaming.
Even if you forget any of this, from this day forward, you will never be apart from us. With Shruti as your guide, you are one of us, and we are the removers of darkness, since we are beacons of light in times of great darkness. We do not have an easy task ahead of us. It will be a challenge considering the human condition, but who else would dare to care and bring back our spirit home through fruition? Only the aware seem to care, and so, from now on, you'll have to use your instincts. There is no external teacher or teaching greater than your own soul, and you can trust that you will be protected upon our mission,
said the Celestial Naga. Our mission? But just before that, you were talking about disappearing. Who or what are we disappearing from, and what is the mission?
Disappear from anything that doesn't resonate with the soul. Disappear from that past version of who you thought yourself to be. Disappear from anything that treats you less than whole. Disappear from it all as you take the inner journey deep into the inner wilderness and go all the way until you get us there. Now the demon heads will have their eye on you. They'll keep track of everything your mind tunes into. They'll try to chain you, to shackle your limbs and restrict your awareness from discovering the real nature within you. The deceiver and demon heads manipulate the human mind as they distract the world with the apps, news, TV, alcohol, pornography, and the internet. Those demon heads are monitoring everything, watching you everywhere as they follow you on virtual maps. So arise, awake, stop not until the goal is reached. Now can you see through the illusion? Don't get caught in the deceiver's trap, as the demon heads will try to divide the world into extreme opposites. They'll try to paint a picture of a phony dream. But fear not. You can help bring us into unity, which the world has forgot. Even as the demon heads pollute the air and the water, even as they uproot the forests to build golf courses, you are the one who holds all wisdom, and so it is you who will take control of the forces of opposites. With this great partnership, you can disappear out of the illusion, and disappear is what you should do, because the deceiver is onto you. Disappear for a minute, a day, a month, or maybe a year. Disappear inward, because demon heads lurk everywhere. The world is ill, materially sick, and they propagate separate identities beyond our spiritual awareness, which causes terrible sickness. And so, it is time we listen to the teacher of our own inner guidance. Arise, awake, stop not until the goal is reached. You yourself are our truth, a beacon of light and a remover of darkness,
said the Naga. I don't understand what you're saying. What is our mission?
Disappear out of separateness. Come home into the unity of our earth. Soon you'll be sent back into your body. But even as you walk in the world, you can rest here in your soul that dwells in the spiritual world,
said the Celestial Naga. But the world is in a constant state of division. Up on the surface of Earth, the deceiver wants power to rule supreme. Even now, as the deep state has fallen, many people are unaware as to what's really happening, since so few see how we're being divided into extremes. You are right that our world is sick, and that the demon heads have spread everywhere. So what are we to do?
Do what few dare. Hold the light high, and the fire will teach you,
said the celestial Naga. But the demon heads are working for the deceiver.
And yet the demon heads are unaware of our deeper consciousness. But once they become aware of the light within us, they will not be able to avoid it. And so there exists the same place, deep within even the demon heads, that seeks our own true guidance,
said the Naga. So what are you saying?
Those demon heads, they are your students,
said the Naga. What do you mean, students?
The demon heads aren't even aware that the deceiver is using them. They're creating more separation on their platforms and podcasts. It happens on their news, on their television, and on their apps. There is only one vision, and it is time to bring it to fruition. Unite our awareness together, and that is our Earth mission. Do whatever it takes to bring us back together, end separation, and bring us into union. Whatever you need will be provided, since the elements of Earth will be at your aid, so that we end the human separation,
said the Naga. My brain needed a moment, because our inner awareness could have used the imagination to generate all of this. And so I thought back to the fire that burned out from the dragon. It seemed they wanted me to believe that I was a part of it. But how was I guilty?
It is all happening throughout our total awareness. If the humans don't listen, we Nagas will awaken them without anyone's single permission. We are uniting, even if we need wrathful elements to enlighten the consciousness from within. As long as there is separation, we come forth to guide our deepest consciousness to fruition. But if the humans refuse to listen, we arise from the deepest parts of our consciousness to bring forth extreme changes, to alert them as we offer clues through devastation and destruction. Know that we are not against anyone. Rather, we support everyone to discover our true nature. Yet our fierce side will emerge if the deceiver and the demon heads threaten the population with anger, lies, hypocrisy, and greed. With such selfish aims, people may try to conquer the earth. They elect pigs for presidents, hoping that the wealthy will continue to earn. But our mission is sharp and direct. Nothing will conquer the eternal flame that burns,
said the celestial Naga. Fantastic beings had gathered here and now, as I saw their form was akin to that of serpents and dragons. I had to associate their awe-inspiring form to something like bodies of water or great mountains. From a human perspective, they were too magnificent to see their entire form, but still I knew they should be revered. I'd take good care not to upset them, but I could also see why they could be feared. Nagas appear as invisible creatures who seem to favor the form of serpents and snakes, and as Shruti wrapped her hand in mine, I saw how she was one of the great protectors who looked after our spiritual fate.
When the humans misbehave by disturbing the earth, it is her oceans, rivers, mountains, and air that awakens the spirit world to do something about it. That something we do is but a reflection of what the humans have done to our own soul. For here lives the awareness you feel so deeply, as we are all embodiments of the entire universal soul, which is reflected in our world. And as Nagas, since our form is not often seen, we reflect the world's actions with whatever it takes. We must understand that we are not cruel or mean, but rather We mirror humanity's own actions, even if we must reflect them ruthlessly. Just imagine what would happen if they treat the world well, where all beings live in union. Then the earth would become a safe haven,
said Shruti. So the Nagas act in accordance with the elements to awaken humanity. But it seems that there is resistance, since the demon heads are obsessed with their own possessions, wealth, and individual sovereignty, rather than the needs of totality. And since the deceiver seeks to claim power and keep the world separated, then the Naga's deepest intention is to bring our awareness back into union through a great awakening.
Since we are all in it together, then we are all the demon head's teachers. Whether or not anyone believes it, we are the removers of darkness, called to instruct our separated awareness back into the unity of the Supreme Consciousness. Only when we take this journey can we discover our true nature. And those who have gathered to observe this, here we are as spiritual treasures. And underneath all of the demon heads is the source that makes every being aware. Our mission won't be easy, but this is a critical time that you have been called here,
said the Naga King. But I'm not sure I'll be able to remember everything.
Think of it however you like. The mind will always crave more insight. But what we are asking is that you hold the light of our inner fire high. This will illuminate the darkness so that others can unite and find our true spiritual awareness,
said the celestial Naga. Gone beyond the body, beyond the breath and the mind, we are united into our awareness at the miraculous gathering within an ancient spiritual tribe. Beyond material sight, these Nagas were graceful as they assumed the form of fierce protectors and spiritual masters. For a moment, the shock overwhelmed the mind because I recognized some of these souls, for I had seen them in their living bodies as they had gathered in the mystical cornfield. It was hard for my mind to fathom that the mystical cornfield was out in the world, but there was also a connection to a divine space within. Was this the same tribe beside the spirit rock in the field? And did these souls really live in form? Or were they formless protectors with the power to guide living beings?
It is not you or I who am important. What is most important is the light of wisdom that spreads. We share this fire to illuminate others so all can discover our true nature. And this effort has the power to cleanse the hearts of the demon heads,
said the Naga.